Good evening and welcome to LUTV's coverage as Aldershot Town host Leeds United under-21s in the National League Cup. Leeds finishing second in Group C to progress to the quarter-finals. Aldershot topping Group A. And both teams looking to put their names in the hat for the Final Four. We'll start with the teams for both teams, Aldershot and Leeds United. The Aldershots have in net, it is Van Stappershoef. It's then Jenkins, Frost, who is the captain, Corbett, Jones, Anderson, Bray and Mullins, Henry, Maja and Ellison. As for the bench for Tommy Widrington's team, it is Dewhurst, Hargreaves, Jones, Barham, Lewis, Evan, Stanley and Nditi. As for Leeds United, Scott Gardner's side, it's Rory Mahady, and then Freddie Lane, Connor Ferguson, Diogo Monteiro and Ruben Lopata-White. Chris Moore, Josh McDonald, Max McFadden, Connor Douglas, Reece Chadwick and Oliver Pickles. And Gardner's bench is Ombang, Nfonkeu, Hamilton, Firth, Vincent and Morris. So we believe it's a three at the back with the two wing backs being Lane and Ferguson. Chadwick and Pickles sitting with McFadden and McDonald flanking striker Connor Douglas. In terms of the goal scorers tonight, Leeds have had several players go out on loan who are not part of the squad that have scored previously, so the only goal scorers that have already netted in the competition, Reece Chadwick has 2 in the National League Cup and Connor Douglas has 1. So first team experience and exposure is what the competition wanted to develop youngsters against National League teams. It's a brand new competition this season. And Leeds United's under-21s, Ben Parker sat alongside me. Good evening to you, Ben. Are going to be up against it. Even though Aldershot are 18th in the National League, it is a good standard. We always say this about playing to a level. Even though you're out of the Football League, the quality and more importantly the strength of these players will give Leeds United a very, very tough night at the office.
No, certainly will. Good evening, Tom. Good evening, everyone tuning in for this quarter-final. And yeah, first things first. It's been a good achievement to get to the knockout rounds. Some difficult, tricky opponents along the way. As you mentioned, against more senior players, that's always going to be the challenge in this new competition. But I think the young players have stepped up really well so far. Going to be a different sort of challenge tonight. The pitch isn't the best, but this is all part of the learning curve, the learning development, as we've been saying throughout this cup competition, this under-21 campaign. And it's about starting right, stamping your authority on the game, but going out there and winning your battles.
Straight away, Leeds having to do some defending. Good header forward into McFadden, who's caught on the ball. Aldershot flying in as a 3. Chadwick battled that with a lunging challenge of his own. And for our viewers that are not often able to watch the 21s, Chadwick is one of those players that's got plenty of flair about him. Thankfully for Leeds, Lane was just as brave at the far post, the glancing header away. And Aldershot, you'd expect as a team to just use that physicality, the strength. We can go through some of their players in a minute with first team exposure to the National League this season as they've got in behind the Leeds defence. Offside appeals from Lopata-White, unheard for now by the officials, and it's a very rampant start. Nobody seems to have full control of the ball. Monteiro for a second did, and even he is dispossessed as finally Rory Mahady gets a very thankful hand on the ball because it was all a bit scattergun out there. Nobody seemed to really have full control, but that was actually in Aldershot's favour.
No, it was, and this is the challenge when you're playing against these sort of teams, more experienced players. When they do press, they're not going to let you off the hook. They're not going to allow us to build up from the back. They're going to try and be on the front foot, and that's how Aldershot have started so far.
Trying to watch that ball out of play, and successfully doing so was Chris Moore. So you're just going through the first team appearances. Tyler Frost, the captain, 29 appearances in the first team this year. Corbett has 24. James Henry, 29, 10 goals. Ex-Oxford, 35 now, had a great career in the Football League, so it shows you the quality they've managed to bring to the group. Mullins has 23 appearances. Ellison has 14. And there's even further representatives on the bench. The goalkeeper isn't the first choice as Leeds nutmeg one of the players with Douglas coming forward. So it is not exactly a young team against a reserve team for Aldershot. They're trying to progress in the competition themselves to try and get a hand on a trophy this year as Chadwick gets possession, tries to get in behind the defender and gets a deflection off the legs of Ryan Jones and will win Leeds a corner. Good to see Leeds just spreading the play a little bit. Chadwick you'd naturally expect to sit, but he's just pushing further forward there and gets the helping run from Pickles behind him. So Chadwick has the ball now ready to go. Curler to the far post, easy enough catching practice for Stappershoef, who can then ball the ball out immediately down the right-hand side into Bray. And Aldershot piling forward for a split second because Ferguson gets hold and he is fouled. But there is a bit like is the tempo a little bit too quick in a way, Ben? You feel for Leeds to try to settle into it, but it's almost suiting Aldershot this rather rampant start.
I think it's more for our players to kind of adjust to these kind of different conditions, and again it's going to be completely different to the league campaign in the under-21s, where it's almost one team will have possession and being able to build up from the back, vice versa for the opposition, and it's not going to be like that tonight. And it's about mixing your game up as well, because that's when you get to the highest level in the first team. Yeah, you have a philosophy, a way of playing, but you have to sometimes play to the kind of conditions and the opposition, and so far so good. We're standing up to the challenge, trying to, as I mentioned, win them battles, especially in the midfield kind of areas. That's where the games usually are won and lost.
Possession is Maja. Shot with a decent crowd tonight in the EBB Stadium, trying to get them over the line. Throwing for Ferguson to take. He spots the run of Lane, who for the 18s plays a lot further forward, so if he can get him in possession. Douglas puts the pressure on the goalkeeper, not the best clearance. Trying to pounce on that is Pickles, and while he does, he was stopped in his tracks by Jenkins, who's just used the strength. Aldershot run out of wriggle room though with a crossfield ball. Monteiro into Moore. He's just slowly getting more of a foothold in terms of getting the first pass away, the second not so much. As I said earlier, Aldershot topping the standings in their group to get through to the knockouts. So a formidable opponent for Leeds to try and break through. McDonald tries to nutmeg midfielder rushing at him, but unable to evade Ellison. But I don't think 5.5, maybe 6 minutes in, Ben Scott got to be too disappointed. You know, you have to try and settle. You've got a crowd against you as well, and you've got players. You can just see the stat sheet. Look at number 32, Maja, the size of some of these players. You know, these youngsters just try to size up and think, right, how can I get past them? Is it technique? Do I have to try and make it simple? Almost a nice feeling out process. The main thing is to not concede.
Yeah, of course, and it's all about the players settling into the game as well, try and get plenty of touches. We know we're going to try and build out, especially from the goalkeeper in these situations. We're not going to go route one. We're going to try and pick a pass out. So it's important when we do stick to our philosophy, we fully commit. And look, we're going to make mistakes tonight, but it's how we can rectify that player trying to do the right things and running behind.
Now an opportunity here for Douglas to cut the ball back. There were several yellow shirts queuing up, and still are. McFadden into Chadwick, looking for that last little bit of space to get a shot away. Doesn't find it. Importantly for Leeds that he keeps hold of possession. Lane wanted the quick fire 1-2, gets it. And he's just showing that technique they bring to the party tonight to try and get him behind. There's a array of options to the side of Ferguson, uses one of them. Here's McFadden, can score from range, will attempt to do just that, and just whistles past the far post. The keeper was panicking, and nearly 7 minutes in, and just past that mark, Leeds taking the lead. It was a good sighter, just where you want McFadden looking at goal.
Yeah, more signs that we are settling really well in to the game, and Freddie Lane at the heart of it, playing in this unfamiliar position for himself as a wing back on the right hand side, but a couple of neat 1-2s, getting further up the pitch. Good effort from McFadden in the end, just whistling past the post, but yeah, the players will be feeling good about themselves on the start so far.
Down here for Aldershot, which is a worrying sign for number 9 Corbett, who looks in some discomfort. For now, the officials just delaying treatment. And just gone to intercept the ball, and you can hear Ben alongside me. We often see, or more in a comical value, players sliding in for celebrations when they, when they go to do the knee slide and they land still. That looked really awkward. He's gone to stop a pass. Is it his hip or his knee that's got caught? And I think he's done well to be standing up so quickly. It looked very awkward.
Yeah, we mentioned about the pitch isn't great, and it's not great in possession, but challenges and slide tackling doesn't help one little bit on that side of things as well. And last thing you want to see players from both sides getting an injury due to the nature of the pitch. It's just something to be mindful of as a defender as well, making them last-ditch challenges. Can you get your positioning right? Can you get your distances correct?
Referee just wants to put a lid on things. He's one of the Aldershot players to go across the park, and you can see Chadwick just trying to get everyone else back focused on the task at hand. The quick team talk to those around him as Mahady is going to be given the ball back. So just a quick look at the results. Aldershot beat Derby, Brighton beat them 3-2 before they beat Southampton and Fulham to top their group, and Leeds beat Boston 4-3, Gateshead 2-1 and Halifax a 2-2 draw before then a penalty shootout success, and they finished level on points with Boston, but that head-to-head result ensured that tonight they're in the quarter-finals. It's looking in behind for Pickles, who've made an advancing run forward. Rolled out to the left-hand side for Jones. Over the top pass, Leeds caught out as Mahady tries to keep himself big. The shot thrashed past the post, and Leeds looking around in frustration, appealing for offside, which very early, almost resignation from the defence that they knew it was off. Aldershot played on anyway, even though the whistle sounded to let them know that wouldn't be the case. But what that is, Ben, is a warning. You can see that it isn't going to be side to side all the time. There will be a direct pass.
Yeah, and that's, again, to speak about challenges of players don't come up in games, don't face certain situations. That's just an occasion where route one over the top. As I mentioned, centre halves usually play out on a 21 level. Everything's in front of them or down a channel. That would just old-fashioned foot through the ball, turn the defenders. Thankfully, we held his line nice and high, caught him offside, but it's just something to bear in mind.
Ball back to Mahady, who just calmly floats it to Lane. Inside pass intercepted by Maja, and Lane at least wins it back for his side, plays it forward into Douglas. Looked like it took a bit of a horrible bobble beforehand, and Douglas unable to bring it under control quickly as a result. Neat turn from the shots to get away from trouble. Leeds concede a throw. Under pressure here, Ferguson gets a little nudge in the back but shows no sign of wilting, even though the man behind him in the 14 jersey, Bray, was pretty commanding there. You can see the height advantage he has, but not to his advantage. Ferguson stood pretty firm, and these fullbacks in a 3-5-2, 5-3-2, and they doesn't have the ball, Leeds are going to have such an important role tonight as Mahady just gets caught late. He gets away with it, but it's a bit of a warning sign again for Rory Mahady to what to expect from those forwards. As we mentioned, the fullbacks, Douglas as well, will also have a big role to play.
Hey, well, and that's the kind of hard part, shall I say, playing in them wing-back roles, because you are expected to get forward equally defensive duties, as you said, Tom, because you can't stay switched off, you can't allow the free centre halves to become isolated, narrow, where the space is down the side. So as a wing-back, you have to get into those positions. But we do know, especially Conor Ferguson, natural to that side on the left, great engine on him. He'll run up and down that touchline all day long.
McDonald gets a slight toe to the ball, keeps it alive for Leeds. Maja with a flick on header. Strong challenge from Chadwick, and did think the referee might punish him there, and it a little bit reckless, Ben. Player stayed down, and it looked a slightly high boot. Referee is going to get the physio's waved on. We know Chadwick's a committed player, but do you think he just overstepped the mark there?
No, I think he's legitimately trying to go for the ball. Unfortunate collision. You see the physio coming on, treating the player now. Again, another situation. You hope they're fine, but you can just see the ball's in the air, boots up, knees up, going in for a challenge. I think if he didn't go for it, he'd probably get a shout from Scott Gardner on the sideline to say, why are you backing out? Just got the timing wrong. I think the referee's dealt with it well.
So the free kick to the shots. Yet to see who will be lining up to take it. McFadden and McDonald, the two in the wall when the referee starts to march them back. Maja will have to leave the field of play, of course, after receiving treatment. So Aldershot are down to one less midfielder in the middle of the park for now. Taken short, trying to catch Leeds off guard. It's well worked. The two number 9s have a wrestling match with each other, and the referee in fact says that Douglas on a free kick. The two players in question there, Corbett and Douglas, both of them seem to give up the ball each other. Douglas is trying to put his body in the way, Ben, to protect it. There wasn't an awful lot in it, and neither player, although there was a little bit of a niggle on each other, not enough for the referee to get involved, and I guess that's what you want to see as well. I mean, you'd naturally expect Aldershot, more experienced pros, will try and get under the skin of the youngsters. That's naturally what they'll look as an advantage, and I guess you would suggest Scott Gardner's emotions are to stand your ground, but don't lose your cool.
Yeah, and naturally you'd expected Aldershot to put the ball into the box. That's where we've been tested in this competition this year, where the more physical players do try and test you out on set pieces. But full credit to Connor Douglas, who's alert and alive. Didn't allow the runner to get in behind, and he won a free kick for his team. And he's got an important job tonight as Connor Douglas leading the line. They'll probably tell you he prefers to start from a wider position and joining in from there, but wearing that number 9 tonight, it's important when the ball does go up to him in those positions. He can just have a good presence about him, hold the ball up, make things difficult, allow others to join into the game as well.
Yeah, it's not totally alien to him either. He has played the occasional game as a number 9. That's Mahady to Ferguson. He's used both his fullbacks in quick succession there, the Leeds keeper. Ferguson's guiding ball down the line wins Leeds a throw. McDonald tried to flick it round the side door, just couldn't pull off the pass as Moore is giving a slight nudge as he gets towards the touchline. Not a massive complaint from Chris Moore for a free kick. Looks as if a 4-2-3-1 formation from Aldershot up against this almost 3-4-3 for Leeds, which can transition so many different ways when they need it to. Monteiro goes to ground, free kick he's given Leeds his way. The Aldershot player expected that could go on, and there wasn't too much of a touch there from Mullins. Let's try to go early to catch Aldershot off guard. Doesn't work as Pickles flicks it inside. Strong challenge into the feet of McFadden. He was beaten to the ball by Anderson. And already 18 into the game, Ben, you can see that physicality, can't you, what they're trying to bring. The centre forward try to catch Monteiro off guard. There'll be debates with what style of football you like, whether that was a free kick or not, but again, his first attention to detail was put the defender off rather than look for the ball.
Yeah, look, and it sounds so simple and basic and probably non-league type, but you've got to stand up to the challenge, and I think the first 18 minutes we've done that really well, given a couple of free kicks away in doing so, but you'd rather that happen than standing off and allowing Aldershot to dictate the game, feel comfortable as the more senior players. So in a game of football you've got to earn the right, and doing that so far.
And he wins it back, beats Pickles to the ball, who is playing further wide than this man here, Chadwick, who will, when they need to, push further forward as like an attacking winger. Pickles naturally more of a sitting midfielder, as he's played a risky pass, gets the ball quickly from an on-rushing player, and Leeds first time passing to get away from trouble, but again, Aldershot well regimented, making every single pass hard work for Leeds as Lane wins a throw. But you can see the effort they're up against. Pretty much means every pass has got to be now perfect, but when you've got that press in your face.
Yeah, and again, the nature of the pitch as well makes it so difficult trying to play first time. The occasions where you've got to do it on the press, so everything's got to be perfect, the way to pass, more so the options, movement off the ball. Hopefully that press will be more or less as the game goes on, but yeah, I think the players are having the risk-reward factor, still sticking to the principles, and dare I say it, kind of enjoying this battle tonight.
Lopata-White looked to McDonald. It's not really a battle you'd expect him to win in the air. I wonder if Leeds will switch that up. That's a couple of times now they've gone long. And Aldershot have just attacked the ball pretty quickly. Here is Mahady again looking for a view downfield. Fell into Douglas, back to goal slightly, right the challenge of Maja. That's really good centre forward play, and he releases Lane, who's got Chadwick inside of him, yet to use him, and the two are on different hymn seats, and Lane just taps Chadwick on the head to apologise. And you are going to be up against it tonight. That's an opportunity that was well worked, and you can see the potential, and there'll be a little bit of frustration there for a few seconds, you feel, Ben, at what could have been. Yeah,
but it was great striker play by Douglas, mentioning not too long ago, he's got to hold the ball up well. Did it ever so well, then released the pass out wide, and yeah, just the confusion. Didn't release the pass, mistimed the run, both together not on the same wavelength. And you're right there, the opportunity's got to try and maximise tonight.
Mullins to Bray, looking for Corbett in the box, who nearly finds the space to bring it under control, just went without the ball. Much to Leeds United's pleasure, because if he gets his foot on the ball, he's a free shot on goal. And just as Leeds thought they had a chance to score, Aldershot bring them back down to earth and nearly open the scoring themselves. As in possession now is Ellison. Anderson wide to Frost, the captain picks out Mullins. Frost with a slightly heavy touch, but isn't punished for it. Dangerous ball in. Mahady for a split second thought it was going to be a worry, backed out of it, and it is behind, and we're pretty much halfway through this first half. And again, a replay of that effort. You could see the potential there on the wings, but there's, as you say, nothing massively for Leeds to panic about. You know, in these games you can be overawed. We've seen it in previous competitions when they've played, you know, professional men's teams that are some of the players 10, 15 years older than them, and you can tell that physicality. But as you say, Ben, there's a couple of them that have relished it, and you expect Chadwick and a few others to be those types. As one man, another one is Lopata-White, Monteiro, another big, strong young men that will look to build a platform for Leeds. As here is Lane into Chadwick, now McFadden, looked to the left, wasn't happy, instead picks out Pickles. Leeds just for a second getting their foot on the ball and showing a bit of creativity. Chadwick again getting away from trouble. McFadden tries to spin it out to the outside for Ferguson. The idea was right. Sadly, Aldershot had it covered, but There's a sprig in the step of Leeds players for a split second. I guess it's good for them, Ben, to have that. If you can get a little pocket where you can just start to almost plant your feet in the game a little bit, it helps everybody out there.
Yeah, I think large parts of the game Scott Gardner will be really pleased with. Rory Mahad's not been tested. It's not been backs against the wall making last-ditch challenges either. And the only part I think he'd like just to see a bit more progress is in that final third, getting efforts away. Got a good opportunity here, just offside though.
Yeah, unlucky. Chadwick trying to pick out Douglas. It's this right wing that has given Leeds a bit of joy. Bray lets the ball bounce. Gives himself that room to manoeuvre. Ferguson, and now Moore coming across to stop him, and Moore's done well there. Just pokes the ball away, just as Bray you'd expect him to let fly for a cross. When your fullback gets caught and just can't get tight enough, it's really good centre-back support from Chris Moore.
Yeah, that's the positive side, having a back three, a back five. Is wing-back gets beaten, you've got a defender close by to you on the inside who can come across and deal with that situation.
Ball pass forward from the house, so Leeds get a goal kick. If you're just joining us here on LUTV, Leeds firmly in this fight. They've had the odd glimpse of a chance to get in behind this Aldershot defence. There's a debate here between the Aldershot attack referee and Rory Mahady. The visitors feel that Leeds are time wasting. I'd like to think the ball boy didn't play the pass to Rory Mahady's feet. Better communication needed there. But for our viewers that are just tuning in, Ben, just settling down, it's if you had to sum up those first 24 minutes, get your thoughts in a second. Let's hope that Leeds are still level when that moment comes, and an easy save for Mahady. But how would you describe the first 25 for Leeds? Is it something you're pretty pleased of so far?
Well, I think if you offered Scott Gardner and the players that the first shot on target against us would be after 25 minutes and it was just there, that you'd take it all day long. And I think the big kind of question mark coming into this quarter final, and what has been a main question mark throughout this new cup competition, is how can the players deal with the physicality of the more senior players. This is ultimately the reason why they've created this competition, create these experiences, and so far so good in that aspect. Mentioned a bit more in the final third, but sometimes as an away team, different environment, difficult pitch, experienced players you're up against, you have to win the battle first, then the other things, the nice things, shall we say, in the final third can come later in the game. So as an away team so far, won't be too disappointed.
Yeah, 25 or so minutes gone. And Leeds firmly in this battle. Let's hope it's the first half they can build the platform in as Douglas comes back to receive possession. Slightly heavy touch is punished immediately, but he was swarmed by 4 or 5 Aldershot shirts. Collecting possession is Jones. Lopata-White gives away a free kick, and we've seen it then about we mentioned the Douglas hold-up play. There's the other side of the game, isn't there, where you can just get your body in front of a defender and win a free kick. And the experience of Corbett, 24 appearances for Aldershot's first team this season, shone brightly there as Mullins gets in behind, tries to find a way through. Let's force them back. It's into Frost. Good work from McDonald. He's yet to have much space to manoeuvre. Eventually, though, Frost wins and makes his mistake a distant memory with a quick-fire challenge. Here's Maja. Back to Jones, who showed one way, then went the other. Towards Bray at the far post. Well dealt with by Ferguson, but it will come to the edge of the box. But the flag has gone up originally for offside. And Leeds can breathe a sigh of relief. Coming into this game, Aldershot had won 4 of their last 5. They're unbeaten in 5. Beaten Hartlepool, Solihull, Sittingbourne, Dagenham and Redbridge and Gateshead. Leeds had won 3 of their last 5, beating Birmingham, Derby and Norwich. Drew 1-1 with Brighton last time out. James Debayo's late strike. So confidence high in both camps. Mahady goes and picks out Douglas. Puts a bit of spin on that ball, inch perfect to Lane. Chadwick follows to help out. Needs a bit of support. Lane has that up the line as the nutmeg comes through to keep Leeds alive. Here is Pickles. McDonald is tucked in, meaning Ferguson is wide left. As here is Chadwick. Leeds don't have a real recognised centre forward here. Lane making a run forward now. Around the side door with Douglas, but Leeds give the ball away. Well intercepted by Monteiro and Moore. And now McFadden mopping the play up. Did Leeds just maybe struggle, Ben, there with a lack of a structure? There was maybe several players all looking at the same sort of thing, and it can work in your favour, can't it, that spontaneity? But on that occasion, do you feel it was to their downfall?
Yeah, and it was a bit too safe in terms of a mindset, trying to look forward we should have been doing, and then the runners go off that as well. But everything was almost to feet and go back kind of sidewards, and yeah, when you get in good positions like we have done in these occasions, that's where you've been penetrating.
Yeah, here Lane to Douglas, who's onside this time, goes for power. Sadly saved by the goalkeeper Stappershoef, but Leeds will get the corner, but that's an opportunity Douglas will root. Great run from the young man, but one-on-one. The keeper, you can see the frame he has, but all strikers will feel if they go either side, they've got a chance. Sadly, his execution there was off, but you build on the positive.
And the positives, this right-hand channel yet again. Chadwick, Lane involved in the build-up. Douglas running in behind this time, moments pride. We didn't have that runner. It causing Aldershot problems when we do make that run. Did the right thing, hitting the target. Foster's corner kick.
Yeah, Chadwick's last corner was easily caught. This time he goes for more power, but then doing so puts too much dip on the ball and it's easily cleared. McDonald picking up the pieces. In an area where he would like to thrive, as Pickles sees McDonald rush forward, and now this is where he wants to be, looking for a cutback as he gets it. Sadly, no Leeds shirt had gambled on the near post, and that's the area that Josh McDonald wants to be attacking in this Leeds United colours. An ambitious winger, as Mahady's made an error, and the goalkeeper unable to get the ball away. In looking for Lane, he has played the pass to Kai Corbett, who has his second goal of the season as a first-team player. And Leeds' defenders will come across to their keeper to try and get his confidence back up. When you make an error there, there's only one outcome. It's 1-0.
And that's the hugely frustrating part of it, because first 30 minutes I think we've been really good in terms of professional performance. Dealt with all the threats Aldershot have thrown at us. Simple pass back to Mahady. But you know what he's going to try and do? He's going to try and play out. That's the philosophy, that's the method. And when you have that on the odd occasion throughout a season, you're going to get mistakes and errors just like that.
Yeah, they've done the research, Aldershot. They knew that the plan that Mahady would have.
I just hope the players don't go into the shell, Tom, because really could see the confidence growing minute by minute into this game. Really enjoying themselves, enjoying the battle. We've mentioned that throughout the first 31.5 minutes that they've been standing up to the challenge and creating odd opportunity, force that corner. Just disappointing the timing of the goal when you sense we were the team on top. So you just hope they don't go into the shell. You just hope that you can almost eradicate that from your mind and get back to the task in hand.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, that, as young players, of course, and often they've been able to do it as Maja gets to possession. Going to have another dig his call, but the deflection could have gone anywhere. Mahady's going to try and make sure it isn't for a corner kick, and he does that. And that'll do him a little bit of good as well, just to get his hands back on the ball and make a positive contribution. And he's made many of those this season. He's made a few mistakes as well, but as you said, Ben, that is the way that this team plays, out from the back. As he pings the ball in, he's a very confident goalkeeper out with his feet. And he will look to make an immediate contribution for the rest of this next 60-odd minutes of this match, as Aldershot play it out from the back. Yeah, space. Ferguson beaten to the ball by Bray, who cuts it back. Lopata-White there just steps in. McDonald beaten to it in midfield by Anderson. Intercepted by Maja as Leeds just retreat a little bit inside their own half. Wide it goes to Jones. Jenkins just rolls it across to Ellison. Jones, good first touch. Leeds under pressure here. But for a block from Lane, who for the first time had to do a bit of defending, and it will be for an Aldershot corner.
Done really well tonight, Freddie Lane, in that position, which we've only probably seen him play once or twice before. A lot higher up the pitch. Majority is a number 9 as well for the under-18s. So, yeah, expect him to join in, get forward well, which he has done down this right-hand side, but 2-3 times defensively, which sometimes as a player, you're not used to a position like that, get caught out. He's done so well.
Jones to Corbett, taken quickly to the far post. Comes off the foot of the post, nearly dipped in. It might still here for Maja. Mahady was beaten. And the number 9, Corbett, looks across in disbelief. A short corner. Leeds perhaps weren't at the races to notice it coming. And you'd feel they've managed to ride their luck a little bit here, Ben, because that's a cracking effort.
Yeah, still not sure how it's not gone into that bottom corner. The angle we've got here, we're right behind it. I think it's just going to nestle into that bottom left corner. Mahady going to have no chance with that chance. And again, just an awareness from the player to be always alert and alive. Don't expect the ball to go into the box.
Yeah, Chadwick's been caught here. Maja flies in, and there is a yellow card. And those two collided earlier in the game. There's an acceptance from Chadwick. I think he feels that the ball was there to be won, as of course did Maja. It's a close one, Ben, but the referee's made a decision pretty quick. Are you in agreement?
Well, I think the referee's good starting position, and more the follow through from Maja in the end that just catches Chadwick. And they're so one of them, really are, but it's good to see he's just bounced back onto his feet, able to continue.
Yeah, it's a huge bonus for Leeds that Chadwick is able to continue. He's the young talisman in this group, the man that can drag them through tough battles. He sort of relishes that adventure and challenge. Lane just slightly out of position for the throw-in. He and Monteiro get in there to defend, but the referee says that Monteiro's pressurising was far too much, so it is a free kick. Corbett and Jones stood over it as Leeds get their 2-man wall of McDonald and McFadden set. Headed away at the near post. Good header as well from Chadwick. Monteiro sticks his head in where it hurts. Moore will have to do the same, but Bray will be given space to shoot. Thankfully for Leeds, it is an effort that is high and wide as we approach the final 10 minutes. And I don't think Leeds have responded badly to the goal, Ben, but that little spell they had is evaporating. It's now Aldershot winning those second balls again. Yeah,
and it's almost like a what-if kind of moment. If it was still 0-0, how will the game still be panning out? Because you're right to say, yeah, we were just starting to get on top in the contest, winning the battle, winning the duels, especially in the middle of the park, and then starting to have a bit of success with passes in behind, pushing Aldershot back. But all of a sudden, they've got the bit of confidence in that goal. Seems to settle them down a little bit and just gaining that bit of control back into the game.
Yeah, good block from Lane. Important interception. As Maja has it with Pickles breathing down his neck. Douglas trying to stop Jenkins as well, and he puts a bit of extra pace in the pressure. trying to force a mistake. Yet to make one here, Aldershot, who are now attacking down the right-hand side, this time with Frost, who cuts it nice and early, low and hard, well read by Monteiro. And while that was pretty pleasing on the eye from an Aldershot perspective, good reading of the game defensive from Leeds United and no panic. Everyone got set and dealt with it.
Yeah, the handful of occasions when the ball has come into the box or the three centre-halves have been required to shuffle out of the position, go wide from a defensive point of view. The three at the back for Leeds done ever so well, and we're going to need to continue to do that for the rest of the game.
Douglas tries to win his team a throw-in and does, and just little tiny bits of work like that can get you a foothold in the game. Lopata-White to Pickles, rolled across a uneven box there. That pass was all over the place towards Moore. Ferguson to McFadden. We'll switch the play to Lane. Corbett giving him something to think about though as he advances over halfway. Moore to Ferguson. A rare attack from Leeds down the left. Ferguson's given a bit of space to run into. Well met though by the Aldershot defence. McFadden tried to poke it through a gap to Lane, and Leeds had inverted their fullbacks to try and help out, and now caught out and there is space in behind, and Corbett will try and exploit that with Pickles, the one that's offered to get back and help. Lopata-White gets his leg in the way. They will concede a throw in here, Leeds. According to the officials though, it's come off the Aldershot man, which is great news because that was another pressure moment.
It's just an occasion when we're not seeing too many, granted, but when turn the ball high up the pitch and players are out of position, can we get back in numbers? Just did well to just delay, and then the bonus is win the free kick.
Yeah, Lane then concedes when he bumps into Kai Corbett, the goal scorer, who's becoming a bit of a thorn in Leeds' side. He's just working himself into a bit of a nuisance role, and you say that with, of course, admiration, and it's something for Leeds to try and neutralise in the second half. Dealt with at the near post by Mahady after that glancing header. He had several Leeds shirts in front of him, but I think he wanted to go long there and create a bit of space in behind. A few minutes left until half time as Moore goes wide to Douglas, who's dropped very deep for Leeds. Just loses his footing. The referee says no free kick. Douglas's body language suggests he knew that as well, as Bray tries to get past Ferguson using those long levers of his to keep him at arm's length, only to run into a dead end and give Leeds a throw. Reminder the Leeds bench: Ombang, Nfonkeu, Hamilton, Firth, Vincent and Morris. Lane to McFadden. To Chadwick. Now Pickles. Lane was offering a helping hand inside. Here is the Leeds right wing back. Chadwick gets a free kick, and just again a small sample size of the quick fire passing that Leeds want to try and replicate that they do in the 21s in the PL2. McFadden's heavy touch intercepted by Maja. Aldershot go early again. It's a foot race between Lane and Corbett. And Lane will have to be quick here. Corbett's been, again, very aggressive and he's won it back. Lays it back inside, well intercepted by McFadden. Has to be quick here though. And gets the call that Jones is coming. And keeps the play alive for Leeds, but it's more of a speculative ball down the line. You can just see that extra strength, can't you? That experience and what Corbett's produced. Really tough to play against him as a defender, Ben.
No, it is, and it's just chasing down lost causes when sometimes as a young player, the more reactive than being proactive, and just keeps as a defender and especially a wing back, you always can't switch off because the moment you do, that's when the experienced players will take over.
Ferguson wins Leeds a throw. There isn't that many though nominating themselves for a quick fire option. Douglas just goes without the ball. Wasn't a bad pass over the top at all. Aldershot had just let him go free for a second. This time a heavy touch in midfield from Aldershot was punished. Henry, though, has got it back and he rolls it forward. Plays it into Frost. McDonald's come back for a second attempt and will win a throw. And it's good work from a teammate that, you know, Josh McDonald is a, as we say every week, he's an attacking winger. He wants space, he needs space. This is not his game tonight so far. He's like an inverted number 10, isn't he, Ben? You're like tucked in off the wing, but if you can't get everything going your own way, you can't give up, and he hasn't done that, and that's just a testament to just sheer hard work for his left back. No, it is, and it's an example to every other player as well, when if the game's not adapting to your kind of strengths, can you come up with something different to affect the game? And I think everyone out there in the yellow shirt is certainly trying to do that. Got 2 minutes remaining of added time, end of this first half, and it's been a first half when you look at the scoreline and you'd be disappointed that we're a goal behind at the moment, but plenty of positives to take out this first 45 minutes, and we've not let his heads dropped. Mentioned, could that be a factor after going a goal down? I don't think we have one little bit. Yeah, 2 minutes stoppage time for Leeds to hopefully create one more chance, but I think the main objective is to just not give anything away and keep it at 1-0. Now Scott Gardner's team talk to try and orchestrate a way back into this match in the National League Cup. Ball bounces for Chadwick. Can Leeds create anything with it? They can't. Chadwick maybe had too many options there, and now Aldershot will try and punish him. Wide to Corbett, who stumbles. Might not even go out of play without a fight. In fact, thankfully it will. Chadwick just apologising to those around him. There's a slight glimmer there, Ben, that they could have had something, but maybe just sums up the last 20 minutes since the goal. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier in the half there, the moments when we might get too many occasions when we beat the initial press. We're behind the midfield of Aldershot, running onto the back four, where we've got to take advantage, especially when we've got an overload out in the wide positions, and we've done it 2 or 3 times, but these are the occasions. Can we make it count? Yeah, McDonald from Moore just runs into traffic. Leeds had committed several bodies forward. They saw that as an opportunity, but there goes the half-time interval. And it is only 1-0. Leeds United still got plenty of hope in this National League Cup tie. The difference, though, is Corbett's goal after 31 minutes. Join us soon for second half coverage. So Leeds United are trailing after Corbett's 31st minute strike, in which Rory Mahady would have no doubt had a moment that he would have liked to have forgotten, playing the pass into the feet of Corbett, who quite simply just got a touch to the ball. before poking it into the back of the net. There was a few plus points though. The players were able to create a few overlaps. Certainly down the right hand side they got a bit of space. Down the left not doing enough perhaps to get Josh McDonald involved. So we'll see what this young group of players can do, this quarter-final cup tie in the National League Cup. Just ring you through the two teams in a second once this potential attack for Aldershot comes to an end, which hopefully it will do now with a good challenge from Ferguson, and it has, as McDonald keeps it alive. Pardon me. Douglas racing down the wing, doesn't get the free kick that he wanted, and he's all the way back out with all the shots coming forward. So they go with Stappershoef, Jenkins, Frost, Corbett, Jones, Anderson, Bray, Mullins, Henry, Maja and Ellison. Leeds United go with Mahady, Lane, Ferguson, Monteiro, Lopata-White and more. McDonald, McFadden, Douglas, Chadwick and Pickles. Aldershot on the attack with Jones, stopped eventually by Lane, who's quietly making himself a right back as the game progresses. You were very impressed by him, Ben, as a full back, and almost just sort of used to it now. I mean, I will admit I did look at the team sheet and think, what on earth is Freddie Lane doing with the number 2 on his back? But you almost then have to just switch back on as Aldershot come forward, drilled low ball in, more clears. For how long though? Effort will come in as well, but a very poor effort from Keane Anderson. But yeah, we've covered this group for a long time now over the last few years. 23s and 21s, and then the 18s. You look at players there. We joked when Chris Moore played right back once. He played there and the 30 odd times. Even once played up front for 10 minutes. These sorts of players. You succeed in the academy nowadays, especially in first team football, by having durability. Unless you are incredibly talented at your job, having flexibility gets you far.
No, it can certainly help. But yeah, you mentioned Freddie Lane impressed. I think the team as a whole impressed in the first half. Just that added little bit in the final third where, yeah, we need to obviously improve as kind of end product or the productivity, getting into the good areas, because proving that we can deal with the battle, deal with the fight, it's just the next part of causing a problem on the Aldershot goal.
Henry tries to get the ball forward for Aldershot. Misplaced pass. Here is McFadden. This is the area McDonald wants to be frying in as he gets to pass Frost. He's got the speed as well. Great opportunity here for Leeds. Gets to the byline, tries to cut it back, just about runs out of space, gets the ball across, and the keeper didn't know where that was going. It's a panicked left arm across the box, hoping to get a hand to it. He does enough. Picked up a slight injury here, but if you had to showcase where Josh McDonald is dangerous, this is it.
Yeah, and in the first half, he didn't really have too many opportunities to do this because all the good stuff was down the right-hand channel. First few moments of the second half, and gave him a massive confidence boost.
Yeah, as you say, Ben, that's a big moment for him. Just settles him into the game finally. And it gives Aldershot a warning of what could be to come. Chadwick this time gets the purchase on the cross. High hanging ball, header into the floor. There's a call gone against Leeds. Moore with the arms up in the air to plead his innocence, as it is a free kick. But as second half start goes, this is positive, and it's a reaction that you'd like to see.
Yeah, McDonald's one of those players, isn't he, when gets his tail up, so hard to stop because can go left, can go right, very direct, has an end product about him as well. So from a Leeds perspective, can we try and get him into the game a little bit more in the second half, because yeah, we mentioned that run will give him a bit more confidence.
Lopata-White was looking for Monteiro, who just stepped forward there. Leeds have used the 3 centre-backs on occasions in the 21s in the PL2 to push one of them further forward as a second midfielder. That might be how things go in the second half, just to give them more of a foothold in midfield. Ferguson to Douglas, wants the 1-2 and will get it. Inside to McDonald. looking for that wriggle room he wants. Puts it across the face, needed a touch, doesn't get one. It will from Douglas, who tried to take the leather off the ball. And 2 quick foul opportunities for Josh McDonald has created further panic for Aldershot. Sadly, though, Leeds couldn't punish them. They are still in possession, but they're retreating back to halfway. As Lane goes forward, there's a player that slips, and the chance will go astray. And that's a big opportunity. One that I think Conor Douglas would love to have back in his mind over and over again. Sadly, in football, you've got to take it when it comes.
Yeah, just the wrong technique from Douglas. He's tried to, on the side, volley with his laces, where you just need a big connection inside your foot. But great build-up play down the left-hand side with Ferguson. Into McDonald. Goes onto his left again and got the players into the box. Couldn't quite fall to a yellow shirt for a simple tap-in. And I mentioned just the wrong technique from Douglas, but it's been a very positive start to the second half.
In possession is Jenkins. Leeds win it back through Lopata-White. Runs just into traffic, gets a little clip on the ankle. Here is McFadden. Trying to get past Maja. He stands his ground. McFadden had a little kick out there, and the referee's played advantage. Maja on the attack. Gets the ball forward, gets it to Corbett via deflection. The goal scorer looking for his second of the evening. Leeds can't afford to give him the space to shoot, which they do. There's a frustration there at the back. And it came from a one-on-one with McFadden. I think he's frustrated at himself. I mean, he's not normally a centre midfielder, but you can just see the size difference. He's a young man playing against Manny Maja, who is double the size of him. And he just got into an arm wrestle, which is not where you want to be. All of a sudden, you're under pressure. But again, it's something to learn from.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes when these situations do happen, can you have your teammate close by to you so there's not enough space to run into, or limit the opposition to a shot from outside the box? And ultimately, that's what we did. Yeah, it's a dangerous situation, of course, but could have been a lot worse. So on the flip side, I thought the team gathered, regrouped really well, got into a decent enough shape, forced a shot from outside the box, and sometimes you'll just take that as a defender.
Ball will go out of play for a Leeds throw. Lane decides against going for a bit of a run, cuts it back to Ferguson, just allows Leeds to get a bit of a structure back. Does appear to be a slight change there, Ben, with Monteiro pushing into midfield. Lopata-White into Douglas, who came in to drop and flick the ball to McFadden, just couldn't get it away. Lopata-White trying to stand his ground against Corbett, who's gone past him. Cut back, couple of deflections off a Leeds head, and it'll nearly trickle out for a corner. Lopata-White unable. He wanted one more bounce. It will be a set piece. Aldershot, just like they have done on many occasions, starting to win those second balls again in key areas. Frost takes it past McFadden, wanted that space and has enough room for a shot, but immediately closed down by Moore. Further wide it goes to Jenkins. Mahady stays put. Lane comes across. Corbett again is the one that's there for Aldershot. Lane has a go to get it back from him, and he's enjoyed that battle out there, the Leeds number 2. As Jones goes back to halfway, and it's Aldershot's occasion and opportunity this time to just put their foot on the ball for a change.
Yeah, and you're going to expect Aldershot to have a bit of pressure in the second half, but that's when you need your defenders to stand up and be counted, and Chris Moore's done it on twice. Shot succession, a block, a header clear. Need more of it.
Ball to the far post. Bray looking to cut it back. He does. Moore was brave. Had to beat, and he gets it away for Leeds, and in doing so, it's attack from defence into attack, as now McDonald's got past his man. He's got a little bit of breathing room, but he's running wide. Tries to go past him. This is brilliant from McDonald. The goal at his mercy. Tries to side for it home at the far post as a tap in, and McDonald is the architect as Chadwick fires home. Leeds are level, one apiece, and the counter attack that has undone Aldershot has put Leeds United firmly back into this game.
What a counter attack it was as well, because just mentioning Chris Moore from a defensive perspective, gets a vital toe on the ball just there, and then we release McDonald, and he's got the beating, he's got the pace, and he just needed the belief as well. He thought the ball was going to get away from him here, gets on the end of it. I think it's a fantastic save by the goalkeeper, but all good forward players following, rebounds in, nice simple tap in. No more than we deserve from the start of the second half. I think we've been really good since the second half has got underway, and the quarter-final cup tie is well and truly on.
Yeah, great support play. Chadwick's third of the competition. I think looking at the replay, White was a good save. If you had to be picky, you'd say he hit it at him. I would as well. I'd be tired. I wouldn't have got there. You know, the energy he had to expel to get to that. And he's had, 10 minutes of this second half, McDonald, to prove what he can do in this arena, and already the difference is light and day, and he's away here again. And Aldershot at the moment do not know how to handle him. There is one way, is to take him to the ground, as Dan Ellison has just done, and that should be a yellow card in theory. I think the referee has kept them in his pocket for now, but the difference when you've got your wingers in space like he wants to be, a totally different player.
Yeah, I like the game plan from Scott Garner. Don't give him the ball in the first half to think he's non-existent and then comes alive in the second. So, no, it's just one of them occasions when all the play goes down the right-hand side like he did for us in the first. But, yeah, McDonald's just showing what we've seen, especially under-18 football, when giving him a chance 1v1. Very difficult to stop.
The substitution for Leeds United in the 58th minute. Coming off is number 2, Freddie Lane.
Coming for Leeds.
Being replaced by number 17,
replacement for
Harvey Vincent.
Freddie Lane. Harvey Vincent is his replacement. Good performance. We'll get Ben's thoughts in a second once this free kick is taken. As Chadwick lines up the cross, near post. Not the effort he would have wanted to produce. Good first touch though, the goal scorer looking for an avenue for another ball in. That one's better. Lopata-White tried to just flick it onto the far post. There's McDonald, Chadwick, McFadden. Don't think any of them got a toe to the ball, but individually they all put off Bray. As Monteiro steps forward, and Chadwick, rightly so, just goes, can I have a bit of a breather? Let's get rid of possession. But a word on Freddie Lane, Ben.
Yeah, we mentioned at the start of the second half a lot in the first that really impressed. He's in a position that he's not too familiar with. He's a player who's had a couple of injuries as well, so probably just managing his minutes, his workload. But yeah, it's a night when you needed young players to step up and be counted. He's certainly done that tonight.
Inside ball from Pickles. Douglas, near post. Two players waiting for it. One of them is McDonald. It's saved on the rebound. Another coming in. Aldershot. Third time lucky. Rocket into the far corner as Pickles, who started the move, emphatically finishes as Leeds United 2 goals inside 3 minutes lead in the National League Cup.
It's champagne football, Tom. It's superb play down the right-hand side this time. And it's just waiting for the tapping. You think McDonald's going to put us 2-1 in front, but the build-up play, the timing of the pass, the run, getting into the box. What a cross this is, by the way. Go on, McDonald, can you tap it in? No, rebound blocked. Third occasion, smashed into the top corner on the volley end. What a turnaround it has been.
Great goal. No wonder every single outfield player, by the looks of things, has gone across to congratulate him. You'd even suggest Rory Mahaddy's got enough excuse to get up there, because it's a tremendous response. This young group have such a good attitude about them. Never say die. When they are well beaten, they learn from it, and there's still an awful long time in this game to go, and they'll know that. But just a performance to be proud of inside 15 second half minutes. And it's now on Aldershot to find a way through, and you would feel that they would still be favourites in terms of experience, fitness on this pitch. You know, the results elsewhere in the competition: Sutton beat Manchester United's 21s 3-0. Newcastle's 21s were beaten by Altrincham 3-2 on penalties after an entertaining 3-3 draw. And Leeds hoping to be one of the first 21s teams through, and Brighton are in action away tonight at the same time against Braintree. And naturally this competition does favour National League teams. It's to progress youngsters, to develop them. It's not all about winning. Leeds United are trying to buck the trend in that respect. As Ferguson looks for a yellow shirt down the line. Lopata-White, good first touch. And a second, just try to play it into space for Vincent, who's pushed further forward. Maja given space and time to pick out Frost. Ferguson and McDonald will pressurise him. Straight away they've got to go back to their own goal line to stop Frost from a cross the near post. It isn't well hit, but it's actually worked out for Aldershot, but for a desperate block from Lopata-White. Pat on the back needed for that young man as he gets there in the nick of time. Vincent gets forward. Pickles was coming on the attack. Here's McFadden. It's opened up for Leeds again. McFadden tries to get it to Pickles, does, but only just, as Douglas, I think, is the one that's gone back out to right wing back. Now the game's gone to the left flank for Aldershot, with goal scorer Corbett cutting inside. Maja, sight at goal, tries to direct it. Lack of conviction you feel behind that. And I think Leeds have decided to again go for a regroup. There's a bit of chaos out there. Douglas was playing up front, now he's at right wing back. All of a sudden everybody needs to breathe, but they're thriving in the chaos.
Oh, it's carnage. It really is out there, but on the other end of the scale, it's been great to see the 2 goals. I think some of the defensive work tonight has been superb. Chris Moore really in the half with his clearances and his blocks. This time Lopata-White throwing the body on the line, and football's always about 2 sides of the game, with and without the ball, and I have to say some of the defending's been brilliant tonight.
Possession with Anderson. Now to Jones. 11 and 11 as Pickles tries to get the ball back for Leeds. Aldershot maybe just try to take the sting out of things to their advantage. Maybe realising the tempo of the game was suiting Leeds. Bray drops the shoulder, confuses Ferguson. Moore's come across to help out. Took 2 out of the game, was an inside pass back to Henry. But Leeds though stood their ground. Vincent slips. Was it a slip? Was it a tremendous challenge and a back heel at the same time? Whatever happens, it worked as Moore goes across to McFadden. You do feel when you've got that upper hand, things do go your way. Vincent dropping in to help out. Gets a little bit lucky, but he will say, of course, he made his own luck, as now Lopata-White goes to Conor Douglas. Into Chadwick. He brushes off the attention of one and turns away from another. Corbett not happy with the lack of a team press. He felt he needed more support. Have you noticed anything in particular, Ben, as with the addition of Monteiro midfield, what it's added to Leeds? We'll get your thoughts in a second, because there might be time for a third opportunity here as McDonald to Ferguson. Vincent's in the box waiting for it. McDonald stood up by Maja, dances past him. It's great footwork. It's a beautiful cutback. As just tapping into the side netting is Vincent. What an opportunity for Leeds, and again, the number 7 at the heartbeat of everything that Leeds United done in this second half.
No, it's a big chance. Huge moment in the game to have that 2-goal cushion, and you think the chance has gone, but the composure, then the footwork from McDonald, they can't live with him in the second half. Is a cut above the Aldershot players in this second period is McDonald, and it's a massive moment. 2-goal cushion would be huge in this game.
Yeah, in the first half, Leeds' wingers were like number 10s really. McDonald was one of them. And that is not a normal experience for him as a player. He's an out-and-out winger by trade. And in the second half, they've managed to get him there, and that's been a huge improvement for him. Long may that continue. But going back to that point I was trying to make, Ben, about Monteiro dropping in, we've seen Alfie Cresswell thrive in that role all season long. Just seen that when Leeds are in possession, that extra avenue out of the back into midfield has certainly eased the pressure on them as Douglas now gets back and kicks it out for a throw. Yeah,
he's done it more from deeper positions rather than high up the pitch. I think it's just something they've noted and exploited from a technical point of view. At half-time, the coaching staff, if we move Monteiro into a higher position, allows more space to probably Lopata-White, give more space to Mahady as well to receive the ball back from them as well. But first and foremost, Monteiro, can he deal with his free kick?
Yeah, Douglas, perplexed look on his face as he asks the referee why that's a free kick, as Corbett the one that was upended. These are the areas where just giving away free kicks on the edge of the box can only aid the hosts. Does appear to be McDonald and McFadden in the wall.
How distance is that wall? We've seen a lot of that last couple of days. Not 11.2, is it?
Very precise, as Corbett and Jones are waiting. Referee's got his eye on somebody else in the penalty box. Will be Jones. High floating ball. Leeds unable to win the first header. Mahady gratefully watches it go past his post. And immediately gets Leeds back on the front foot. He just took his time to pick a pass and on they go. McFadden to Chadwick. Inside run from Vincent. Trying to get him behind. The pass just got caught. Did a bit more purchase on it. Your thoughts there though, Ben? There isn't a element of Leeds trying to sit on this. I think they feel that their best chance is to go and get a third. You naturally would as a young and vibrant team. But it's great to see Vincent come on, running, made that run in the channel, and you'd ask Chadwick to make that pass every day.
Yeah, exactly. And the last thing I would want this team is to retreat, going in front of the game. Probably naturally you feel like you need to kind of, just have a moment for a breather, regroup, take stock, but I think we're best on the front foot.
Yeah, Corbett will feel he's just as good at that situation as well. He goes to ground. He's trying to buy a penalty. But again, he's going to be a nuisance to the very end. Pickles back to Douglas. Corbett again. Leeds players will be more than forgiven if they see a number 9 come on that fourth official's board to breathe a sigh of relief. There's Lopata-White into McFadden. Now Chadwick. Ferguson with his arms out to ask for possession. Leeds though, we just try to tire Aldershot a little bit in that final third, keep possession, make the runners stretch the game. When you get into areas where there's any pressure, get rid of it quickly. Monteiro again receives possession well. Centre back comfortable on the ball. Little flicked pass to Vincent. He tried the back heel to Pickles, and Leeds have been caught out as Bray will run one-on-one with Moore, who's trying to push him out towards the edge of the box as he whips a shot just past Mahady's far post. And Leeds will debrief by shouting at each other, but against fine margins, that back heel works. Leeds have got a 4-on-3. It doesn't, you've then got a 2-on-2.
Yeah, it's knowing when to do it. That is the key. It's one thing playing with belief, confidence, personality on the pitch, but I don't care what kind of situation the game is. I don't want my centre forward flicking round the corner on the halfway line because you're just asking for trouble. The risk reward isn't in your favour, and just highlights there, get exposed. Thankfully the effort just goes wide to the far post, but just a warning sign, just do the basics up until the final third.
Yeah, crowd of 851 in attendance tonight to watch these two teams go at it. Monteiro for a second was told to go backwards there to his keeper. into Frost, who's having to use every bit of energy he's got to keep it alive. Now he hangs the cross up, thankfully though, straight into the hands of Rory Mahady. And again, the idea is to go and attack and get a third. Chadwick upended fairly according to the official. Frost loses out. Leeds with a three-man press have won it back, and here is McDonald again. They'll be sick of the sight of him even more so. They tease up Chadwick, who slots the ball into the far corner, and they've done it again. They combined for the equaliser, they've combined for the third, and Chadwick has his fourth goal in the National League Cup to make it Leeds United 3, Aldershot 1.
Huge credit to Rory Mahady. He's noticed the run from Chadwick and releases the pass early out of his hands. I think he gets fouled, but just look at the work rate, the endeavour of the players. We get the ball back, and Aldershot players are just fed up of McDonald running at them. Lays it inside, composure from Chadwick, 3-1. Go celebrate in front of the cameras.
Brilliant moment. We said it again, he leads this group just by his sheer performances. He's a big talker as well. But McDonald, everyone else in that group, and they defended well. Yes, the 3 goals is what's going to grab the headlines, but the block from Lopata-White, the efforts defensively, and Aldershot having to turn to their bench to find a way to come back into this. And do you sense maybe there's an element of shock about their players' body language? It does appear that they look a little bit surprised at what has happened, because all 3 goals have come from 56 onwards, 56, 59, 71. And they're turning to their bench. First sub is Henry making way. He will be replaced by Hargreaves, who's made 35 appearances for the first team this season. It will appear that Bray is next. Fourth official just needs to update the numbers. And it should be Barham that's coming on, and he's got 34 appearances and 9 goals. So they're turning to their 2 most experienced players on the bench. Barham on for Bray, Hargreaves on for Henry. And that tells you the level of response they feel they need to get back into this.
Well, they've been hit with a whirlwind in this second half. It's as simple as that, and it's Josh McDonald who's been at the heart of everything good going forward. Mentioned in the first half, didn't have a kick. The ball didn't go down this left-hand side in an attacking sense one little bit, but he's bided his time, has been patient. Good aspects of his learning, development, having that on his side, and then it's come alive in the second half, really has, and Aldershot just don't know how to deal with him. But it's a mindset now with the players. Don't think the game's over and done with. We've seen it too many times over the years against experienced teams and players that the moment you switch off, that's when they will fight back and hurt you. So still a lot of football to be played in this second half. We've got to go out and do the job.
Yeah, Chadwick is penalised, and you can see why the referee's given it. They're both doing the same thing. Often the attacker gets the advantage. Scott Gardner's telling his players to switch on. The free kick was taken behind them. I just say, Ben, there's a long time left. Leeds have dragged themselves back into this and then gone away from that, but that's only can easily be matched by Aldershot when you've brought 2 players on with 13 goals and 69 appearances between you in the first team. You expect an uplift, and they'll look to provide that. Whipped ball in, takes a deflection. They were behind for a corner, and that was Barham that whipped it in. So an immediate response from a sub. Does appear to be Jones to take a in-swinging corner right underneath the 6-yard box. Lopata-White and McDonald combining, and the second touch from the Leeds number 7, who's still got the energy to keep on the press. They've kept it alive though. Jones again will get a second bite at the cherry. Cutback is on, but it's blocked away as Hargreaves tried to find another red and blue shirt. Just up the pace a little bit here, Aldershot, to try and catch Leeds off guard. Good work from Pickles, who does so much underrated work as a midfielder. And Ferguson goes for a high-hanging clearance just to try and put them under pressure. 15 to go. McDonald wanted a free kick there against Ferguson. Appealing for it was Mullins. Ferguson again to Chadwick. It's a delightful ball to McDonald, who will play in Vincent into the channel. He'll look for the return pass. Vincent running free. Got the options across the far post. He doesn't use them. Just tried to squeeze it home himself. It's been tipped wide by the goalkeeper, Stappershoef. It's a corner. And if you could have a heat map of this game in the second half for Leeds United, it'd just be a blur of yellow on the left-hand side. Josh McDonald has done everything. And the pass from Chadwick in the build-up as well.
Yeah, they had the composure to play out from the back, trusted the ability, didn't get overawed by the occasion that they find themselves in, and no surprise who released Vincent. Yes, it was McDonald. Great save to keep it just a 3-1.
Corner taken short into Pickles. If he's back to goal, dispossessed. Leeds will need to be careful here. They've won it back, even better. Here's Chadwick, pokes it through an impossible gap to Vincent. He tried to return the ball across the face of goal, only for the block to come in, as Vincent is able to win Leeds United a throw. And I said earlier about the other game in action tonight, Braintree are 1-0 up against Brighton at half-time, so there's a long time left, but it would be one academy team left standing if everything stayed the same. Jermaine Francis, the goal scorer for Braintree. Here's Chadwick, down the line to Pickles. Cut back to Vincent, with his back to goal, lays it off. Monteiro's going to have a go. And Diego Monteiro has popped up with a few important moments this season. I think he had a right to hit it where he was. Now I've seen him hit it, he should not have done that.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? But it just shows the confidence that the players are having. And I mentioned earlier about Monteiro's positioning in the second half, especially with the ball, and he's just grown into the game, showed his experience back there, knowing when to drop in, know when to help the midfield out, being an extra body inside that middle of the park, and certainly caused problems for Aldershot on that occasion.
Yeah, here's Frost. Cuts it back for Ellison. In turn goes and finds Anderson in midfield. Leeds have retreated a little bit just to protect this goal, as charging forward is Jenkins. Wide to Jones. Douglas gets a toe to the ball. Pickles is pulled back. The Aldershot fans not happy, but the hand was high, and once he felt it, Pickles knew what to do and go to ground. So these are the moments where you've got to act like players that have been playing the National League for years. You can just take 10, 15 seconds off the clock without getting into trouble. And there'll be a perspective you could see, one point, Ben, that the goal came from a mistake at the back for Leeds, but it's not as black and white as that, is it? You know, Aldershot had chances, they had cutbacks that were close to going in. Leeds have just had to dig in. It's not a Leeds clinical performance, and it's just a rare mistake. They've had to really come through a tough night so far.
And that's part of winning a game of football, especially when you play up in the senior level, because it's not going to be nice and easy, and the opposition are going to allow you to do what you want and allow you to have your own game plan and stick to it, because football's all about winning the battle. Mentioned earning the right to play. It's been a saying through so many generations within the game, but I think tonight has been the prime example of digging in, work rate, helping your teammates out, and then you can build upon that and show your quality in the final third, and we've certainly done that in the second half.
Yeah, there's a change ready for each team, and Nfonkeu is ready to go on the sideline, as is Zion and Nditi for Aldershot. So two managers looking for more of an impact from their bench. Aldershot in possession. Leeds have regressed a little bit to pretty much everybody behind the ball. Certainly defensively they're doing that. Whether they stick to that game plan where they've got the ball or try and break free for a fourth remains to be seen. But for now, certainly the last couple of minutes, it's all hands on deck. Vincent's playing centre midfield rather than up front. As here's Ellison. introduction of Nfonkeu will certainly give them an out ball if they can get the ball back. Cleared away by Chadwick, who gets to his feet looking pretty tired. And I was going to say, I think one of the wingers naturally will be a replacement. Pickles just for a second looked a little tired, and no wonder. He's run himself into the ground again for that shirt. He scored a cracking goal to put Leeds 2-1 up, and he's replaced by Nfonkeu. As the next change for Aldershot, we'll see Frost make way, the captain, and Nditi comes on. So your thoughts on the performance of...
for Pickles' starting position, it looks on paper he's been out wide, but he's taken up some intelligent positions, just drifting in. We know what he's like, ability-wise, he's so comfortable on the ball, great technical ability he does have. His work rate's been great, but then tops it off with that fantastic goal. Vital moment, great quality, can please with his night work.
Lopata-White missed the header. Monteiro was there to smash it away. There is Nfonkeu's introduction to, I think, for the next 10 minutes, run and run again. Give nothing away. Lopata-White jumps up high, gets the wrong side as the Aldershot player goes to ground. He does really well to recover. As here is Nfonkeu. Goes to ground, referee says no free kick. They thought that ball had gone out, and it had. And that's a frustrated, very effective back heel, I must say, from Jones, who's annoyed at himself for just running out of room. To the final 9 minutes we go. Another change for Aldershot, and Jones' last involvement is that error as Lewis Evans replaces him.
Substitution for Aldershot in the 82nd minute, coming off number 11, Ryan Jones, being replaced by number 13, Joe Lewis Evans.
Desperately looking for a way back to at least force the pressure on Leeds, hoping they can crumble from there. Leeds' third goal came in the 71st minute, 10 minutes. The 2-goal cushion, and Nditi arches his run to find space. McDonald has some defensive work to do now. Here's Maja. Wide it goes to Jenkins. Ellison gets away. Ball in, Monteiro with a clearance. Now Douglas, and Nfonkeu, one of the only players in front of him. He will pick the pass to Nfonkeu, who goes without it. At least, though, will keep possession. As here is Douglas again. Keeps hold of it to Monteiro. There's pretty much an all-out attack element to all the shots, so this is where Leeds have to be careful. Can't afford to switch off with players creeping out of the woodwork from behind them. But 7 to go. You don't want to curse things, so I won't discuss too much about what Leeds haven't had to do, but you'd say from a 10-minute spell, there's a lot of positivity defensively. You know, Mahady has watched the ball go past his post. If they can have that for 10 more minutes, there's going to be a lot of elation at the back.
Yeah, and it's all good having a low block, being really compact, but don't be too deep with it. Don't be satisfied camping on the edge of your box. That's just going to invite the pressure. They can get set pieces, and that's going to be a strength of Aldershot as well. So, yeah, it's okay being compact. We are at that at the moment. We feel comfortable, and as long as we keep having that element of being able to push up the pitch, keeping the ball, doing the right things, be progressive with his play, yes, that's what we'll be trying to do for the remaining moments of this game.
Yeah, Ferguson again just taking a quick breather. Everyone for Leeds being told to shuffle across the park to make sure there's no space where they shouldn't be. Ferguson with a double contribution. McDonald and Ferguson again. Crossfield ball if Nfonkeu had been 10 yards further back, and now he's got to race back to cover. Jenkins to Nditi, who's shown flashes of what he will bring to the party for the last 6 or 7 minutes. He's going to stay wide and pretty much have his feet on the touchline when he receives possession. Leeds have got to be careful. Here's Corbett, who has been the main danger player for Aldershot. Ellison waving his teammates forward. Leeds have got such a rigid back line. They're all 5 defenders talking to each other. Monteiro, the leader of the group, in the centre. Maja goes to crossfield pass. Awkward. Jenkins keeps it alive, but it's an awkward ball for the player, so Nfonkeu can go and pick his pocket. Now he's racing away. The Leeds sub gets caught. Will it fall to McFadden? It won't. Ferguson's beaten by Nditi. He'll come back for a second attempt. Ferguson, if he goes to ground, I think he wins a free kick. He's still riding the challenge. He's run out of room. And Ferguson not happy with Nditi. This is where they've got to keep their cool. There's a few players, and McDonald's come in as peacemaker to try and make sure they're coming nothing untoward. I think the referee is going to have to speak to them because they've caressed forehead, should we say, is a nice way to describe it. You are the president of the left back union. What is our left back doing here?
I think he should have got
standing his ground.
Yeah, I think he should have got a free kick just moments before that, and I think the frustration came into the challenge. And it's nice to see from Conor Ferguson, to be honest. Nice to see from the players that it means something, and that's what you got to show. Sometimes did it in the right way, didn't do anything too wrong. Little handshake, get on with it.
Yeah, they do. At least, I think make friends is a stretch, but you move on. Right thing to do. I think referees had a fairly decent game in that respect. In midfield for Anderson, Leeds so far back. Vincent just tracking the run. Substitute Hargreaves looking for a bit of space. Why'd it go to Jenkins again? He's seen a lot of the ball moving out to like a left centre half roll. Thumped into the middle. Ferguson glances it away. Now McDonald has Nditi on his back. The subs made a big impact for Aldershot, but not enough to threaten him behind, which is where Leeds will want to keep him away from. These crossfield balls from Maja to Jenkins, and again, not moving with much gusto here, the hosts. Ball in behind, they've worked quickly. Challenge comes in from behind. Leeds feel they got to it first. There's a big protest coming in. That is as close to the edge of the box as you're going to get. And the referee will have to hear the comments. I think the issue is Douglas gets to the ball, but the referee says he goes through the back of him. It's one of those you could replay it over and over again. He does get a touch to the ball, though.
No, he does, and I think the good element about Douglas, who was on the cover, if he wasn't, there would have been a big space for Aldershot to go exploit. But negative side of it, you see the danger where the ball is, and you're just hoping the wall stands tall. If Mahady's called upon, he's got his positioning right.
So Corbett stands over this. Leeds have had to put an extra body or two in the wall. It looks like it's Ferguson and Moore. Lopata-White could be in the mix as well. So Mahady wants cover. He's expecting a shot. Couple of minutes left. Up he steps. It's a dangerous one. Just past the far post. And if that goes in, some nervous moments for Leeds United. But it just glances past the post. Mahady was panicking at first, but he's not at full stretch.
No, I think he pulls his arms away in the end, and that's having a good position, as I mentioned, from a goalkeeper. And you keep looking at the clock now, don't you? Nearly to that 90-minute mark. See how much is going to be added on as well, but almost in touching distance of the semi-finals. And I think as a benchmark, as a performance as a whole, yeah, the second half has been superb with the 3 goals, but just the level of kind of detail we've gone into as pressing, as work rate, and the belief that we've played in. I think this has been either the best performance this group's produced all season.
Yeah, it's a big statement, Ben, but you can understand why with the task at hand, what's at stake. As Mahady clears long, there's no build out from the back this time, which is what this team are so used to doing. There's space here though, and Nfonkeu gets back, wins it back fairly according to the referee, and now he'll be nearly brought to the ground. He's still going. Inside option is Vincent. He might have to go all the way here. They're just trying to take him down and concede a free kick. There'll have to be a card. They've done it just to try and get the ball back in any way, shape they can. Monteiro comes across to celebrate. I mean, you could have picked them, and I think you could count on maybe one hand how many players try to take him down. Hargreaves had 2 or 3 swipes at him And I think it is the number 7 that's eventually gone for the more robust approach. Perfect for what Leeds needed.
That's superb by Nfonkeu. It really was. To start with the back challenge, working back, the strength to win the ball, but just not happy with that, driving up the pitch, winning the free kick, and 5 minutes has been added on. Unless you're just waving at me there, Tom.
No.
Oh.
Well, I can do both.
Oh,
here's McFadden. Not really an option to float into the box. He might even just have a free shot at goal. He will do so. And as free kicks go, Max McFadden hasn't caught that. It's gone behind for a goal kick. And Leeds just simply give the ball away. No plan there, really. It was a case of just try and waste time. 1-3. All 3 goals for Leeds in the second half. They've got a few minutes left to keep this defensive structure, retain this 2-goal lead. And Nditi down the line. McDonald got a slight touch to it. Hargreaves turns it inside, but Leeds had the body in McFadden. McDonald didn't need the pass there. Caught out. Corbett flicks it towards Nditi. Block comes in. Moore with a swiping clearance. Ferguson as cool as you like to get a bit more space to wrap his foot around the ball. And it's a territory finder that just gives them that last few seconds, get the air back in their lungs, regroup. The subs are nervous, they stood on their feet inside the dugout. They feel there's a big chance that this night is going to be theirs. Monteiro moves out of the way because the flying leap comes from Chris Moore. And Douglas kicks it into the stands to ensure it's not a corner and it's only a throw. Sums up the effort from him. Number 9 on his back. Played striker for half the game. Right wing back for the remainder. It's the sort of effort you need to get through the National League Cup quarter-final. Another throw-in goes against Leeds. Vincent. Chadwick pressing high. It's towards Ellison. Leeds have just got 2 lines of 5 pretty much to the far post. Douglas jumps up, misses it. Puts the pressure on Corbett. Can't afford to concede a free kick. That's what Corbett wants. He gets the blocking though. And a rampant clearance down the line, and McDonald claps Monteiro a round of applause. They know that's a big moment in this match. And they're a couple of minutes away, Ben, from a big, famous victory for them this season. It's been a year of learning and regrouping, playing so many players as under-18s in this 21s outfit. There's another change coming. Looks like the number 7 is up of Josh McDonald, and Morris will come on for him. And there is every reason why the Leeds bench should celebrate the work of Josh McDonald. Whatever they said to him, whatever the game plan was, has been nailed to a T.
And it's a nice touch and fair play to the Aldershot fans. You can see them giving him a round of applause because they've witnessed something really good tonight from an opposition player, young player as well. And full credit to McDonald, the way he's taken the game to Aldershot in the second half is direct, run in, he just glides across the surface, and change of direction is superb. But mentioned he's got a end product to his game as well, and that's what he's produced in this game, and he's got his team pretty much over the line here and into the semi-final.
Yeah, smashed clearance downfield, puts Aldershot back into their own half. Everybody but Vincent inside the defensive structure for Leeds. Another high hanging ball. Ferguson leaps higher than anybody. Great work from McFadden. A couple of important touches from him in this second half, and he's going to race past Nditi and he's going to be clipped. Wants a free kick. Not happy, McFadden there. Probably should have been a free kick if he'd have kept going and maybe gone to ground, but he's tried to be honest. Referee said it's not enough. And into the final minute we go. Should get a little bit extra for that last substitution. Again, Jenkins is making his way wide before playing a crossfield ball with his right boot. McDonald and Ferguson standing their ground, expecting the ball down the channel. It doesn't come. Anderson to Jenkins again. It's a route they've gone down. Aldershot hasn't worked for them so far. It's to Monteiro. Rush clearance from Chadwick. Quick enough to get it away. Here is Ellison. Leeds are standing back and waiting for the delivery. Moore, another important clearance from him. Everybody in the Leeds dugout pointing instructions to the group. Waiting for the latest ball forward. Maja in behind to Ellison. Ferguson gets the call from Mahady, and he's going to let that ball go out. And a very welcome goal kick into the final minute, you would feel, of what is, in Ben Parker's words, the performance of the season.
Yeah, I think it's just had everything about it. The way you stand up to the challenge of a more senior team, senior players. The young team we've got out tonight haven't buckled under that type of pressure. They've actually grown into the game. Could have easily have, gone into the shells after conceding the first goal, but we've just grown and grown and grown. And that's a fantastic victory, and into the semi-finals we go, Tom.
Yeah, what a performance. Second half from Leeds United. National League Cup semi-finalists. They are the team to buck the trend. First half goal from Corbett in the 31st minute, but a comeback. McDonald teeing up Chadwick, Pickles smashing it into the roof of the net for the second and the leading goal before Chadwick converted yet another McDonald moment of magic. And with the likes of Manchester United and Newcastle being defeated in the quarter-finals, Leeds are the first academy team to put their name in the hat for the Final Four. And what a performance from Scott Gardner's side. A young group, yet again, that deserve a pat on the back. The full-time score, Aldershot Town 1, Leeds United 3.